And you were also talking about the environment in which the neuropsychological testing is given. Earlier today you sat in on a lecture I gave and started to have real difficulty with the fluorescent lights.
Yes, sir.
Explain to me the role that fluorescent lights plays for you.
I think it could be a combination of the two things that I've been able to kind of pinpoint. I think there's just something that's given out in the light itself that after a extended period of time I start to kind of get a headache building in the back of my eyes, plus the buzzing and clicking of them.
Now the room we were in earlier had probably 50 fixtures in it. The one we're in now has 4. You're doing better now than you were doing an hour ago?
Yes, I'm doing better now, but I mean, I'm still getting it like behind my eye. I'm feeling it, but...
And we're going to stop whenever it gets to the point that the headache is too much of a problem for you, and we considered not doing this interview, and you decided that you've been to a lot of trouble to be here and wanted to slog on through.
Yes.
But let me know if it gets to be too much, okay? The problem with fluorescent lights is both the glare and the sound.
Yes, sir.
Sound is fairly minor in this room, is it not?
I don't know, I have that complete undertone of the at all times. And then it's like the worst that the light itself, because I'm getting glare off this glass table from these up here, so it's messing me up a little bit. And it seems like the worse that the light intensifies in my eyes, the sound intensifies.
Do the lights on either side bother you as well?
They do a little bit, but I think it's more just because they're kind of directed towards me.
Try to turn it away from you, it swings back. Is that better?
Yes, sir. It actually is. If it just didn't glare off the glass table right there.
Is that better?
Yes, sir.
What other places do you have trouble with fluorescent lights?
School, grocery stores, pretty much anywhere that I'm going to have a lot of sensory overload, maybe. Just if I'm taking in too much, almost. I guess if I'm just like trying to process all the sights and sounds and the people and just everything all at once, I'm trying to like grocery shopping. Is one of the hardest things for me. I've, on more than one occasion when the grocery store was overly packed with people, just left my shopping cart halfway through it and just left.
Let's talk a little bit about the grocery store per se, because it is a combat zone, so to speak, for people with brain injury. Let's start with the fluorescent lights. And grocery stores tend to describe the lights in a grocery store.
They're just so ridiculously overwhelming. I mean, there's at no point that you can go into. I even tried going to Walmart to do my grocery shopping at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because there's less people and I can deal with it a little better. But the lights are just unrelenting. They just never stop. I mean, no matter where you go in the store, they have 15 fixtures right above you at all times. It's way too much.
When we were going earlier, the biggest problem you had from the lights seemed to be when we had turned the lights off in the room to run the projector and then gone back. So is it worse when you come inside at night where you've been in the dark and coming into a bright store, or is that make no difference to you?
It might be just the initial shock of it, but it always usually affects me worse after like an extended period. That's when it really just hits me the worst. I mean, it's never the initial shock. It's never just so much I can't handle it, but after about 5 or 10 minutes on a real bad situation, going like from night to a big bright grocery store or anything, that ends up being a little too much.